Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur. The daily rideshare will be delayed until tomorrow, which means you might actually get 2 episodes of that tomorrow. And I'm delaying it because I wanted to make this video. I did finish editing it and it will go up, but there has been a question that's been coming up, and it's been coming up enough, not only on my channel, but on other channels and other websites and other Twitter accounts, to the point where I feel like I kind of need to address it a little bit. And that is, of course, the Uber advisory board. And there is a lot of people who are actually questioning if this is even real. Does the Uber advisory board actually exist? Did Uber actually select a certain number of drivers to come to a panel to meet with the CEO, Derek Kay, to discuss the future of Uber and potentially test out new features? Did this actually happen? And I think people are getting a little skeptical about this because people in the YouTube community were not asked. Well, I'll take that back. One person was asked, and they, to my great surprise, declined to be part of the Uber advisory board. Otherwise, no YouTubers have been asked to be part of the advisory council. I know a couple people applied, but they were not selected. For that matter, most people in my comment section have bragged about how they were invited, but they declined. And you see that in a lot of comments. I've yet to actually see anyone actually say that they were selected for this thing. Now, that in and of itself is not enough for me to wonder if this thing actually is real. In fact, according to this article, which I will link to below so that you can read it in full, they actually had their first meeting yesterday. But what does that mean for the drivers? What does that mean for us? What was discussed in this meeting? How did it go down? Were the drivers friendly with the CEO? Was he friendly with them? Was there a hostile environment? What happened? We don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know what was discussed. We don't know who was there. We don't know what the overall subject of the discussion was. Was there actual real discussion about what could be done to improve the driving experience? Were good ideas proposed? Or did it turn into a squabble about the rates and how they're not getting paid? And was Uber just tone deaf to the whole thing? Or were the drivers tone deaf to the CEO of Uber, deflecting any reasonable attempt he could have to discuss things with us, but getting sidetracked by the pay all the time? We don't know. We don't know what has happened, and frankly, I am starting to agree with people when they say that this was just a PR stunt. Now, granted, I kind of knew it was a PR stunt, and I didn't outright say it because there's always part of me that's a little cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I knew it was a PR stunt. I knew why they're doing it. I knew why the 180 days were going on. I know why Uberman and the simple driver were interviewed or allowed access to high Uber employees. Because Uber is in a PR tailspin. They need to fix their relationship with the drivers. And even though I think there's a very easy way they could start repairing that damage, they don't want to go that road. They would like to go on the path of more resistance. And so that's why these things are happening. And I still commend them somewhat for at least trying, but it feels more desperate than anything. But the Uber advisory board was kind of like the last potential hope in my eyes and for a lot of people. We wanted Uber to talk to us. We wanted Uber to listen to us, and Uber said that they would. But there has been, from my perspective, no actual evidence that anyone actually talked to anyone with Uber or at this meeting even existed or happened. So I'm making this video for 2 reasons. I have 2 pleas, one to drivers and one to Uber. First, let's address the drivers since I have been accused of not getting to the point fast enough, so I will deal with the drivers first. If anyone has actually gone to this advisory board meeting, please contact me or contact another YouTuber who might be interested in sharing your story. Although I am offering my services, I want to talk to you and find out what it was like. What was said? What was the atmosphere? Was it communicative or was it combative? Were there Oreo cookies or chocolate chip cookies? I want to know, and we will do it in a way where you can remain anonymous if you would like, and I'm sure there's a lot of other viewers who would love to hear your side of the story. As for Uber themselves, because I know they watch these videos, they will never acknowledge that they do, but I know that they do. Here's my plea to you, and this could actually go a long way in establishing trust with the drivers, even if you're not going to raise the rates anytime soon. Make these meetings public. Let us know what was discussed. Let us know what was suggested, what was said. In fact, I would even recommend filming the meetings and releasing them unedited on YouTube or your own app. You need to be communicative with the drivers. Much like Congress cannot pass legislation for the voters while behind locked doors and tell the voters, don't worry, trust us, we are doing the right thing for you. We just don't want you to know what we're doing, but we are doing the right thing for you. That doesn't work for voters. That doesn't work for anyone. You cannot hold an advisory board meeting saying this is for the drivers, for their favor, for everything that they do, for their future, and not be transparent about what was actually said at the meeting. We need to see, we need to hear, we need to know what is going on in these advisory board meetings. Now, I will grant you this, if the first meeting has happened and you didn't have footage of that, okay, apologize, it's a mistake. But the next time through, you need to make that available. Heck, if you want to even take it a step further, you have a driver podcast that virtually nobody listens to. I have listened to it, and I have to say it is the most tedious PR-filled thing I have ever heard in my life. But now is the chance to put real drivers on the podcast and talk to them and be transparent. You can see we're showing you, we're talking with the drivers, and you know what? Even if some of the drivers are critical, you have to let that air. You have to show that you are listening. This Uber advisory board thing is already crumbling because people already don't trust it. Because all they see is that trusted people that they would like to hear from, people like me who, yes, if I was invited to the advisory board, as much as I would behave, I would be sharing what we talked about on YouTube because I want to be transparent with the drivers. But you know what? You should want to be transparent with the drivers as well. These are your family. These are your lifeblood. These are the people that make your company work. And I know about the whole autonomous car thing. You know what? If you truly want to change, you keep dubbing last year the year of the driver and 180 days of change. We are doing everything for the drivers, and yet you never talk to us. You need to be transparent. Invite me, invite Simple Driver, invite Drive Girl Drive, invite Terry, invite Jermaine, invite Mark from Uber Hints, invite your driver Mike, anyone who I did, invite the blessed driver, whoever and anyone I forgot, invite us. Yes, we will, and we will talk to you professionally because that's what we are. We are professionals, and we will share this information with our viewers so that there is some transparency. If you don't want to do this, it is up to you to be transparent yourself. You cannot hide behind locked doors and say we're discussing what to do about the drivers, but the drivers are not going to be part of that conversation. It will not work anymore, and the drivers are fed up. They've seen through it. They are seeing through it. They've been fed that lie one too many times. You can't play that hand anymore. And I believe the Uber Advisory Board is potentially the single greatest thing they could do to repair their relationship with the drivers and move forward as a company. Maybe the drivers who do this for a living, who do this every day, can even make suggestions on how they can get paid well and you can still make money. Just a thought. And you might even find some future executives in those advisory board meetings. But they can't be closed. They have to be open to everybody. And with that, the offer stands. If anyone who has been to this advisory board would love to talk to me, please send me a private message, or I have my email in the description below because, yeah, I will definitely talk to you, and we will do it anonymously if you have been forced to sign non-disclosure agreements. And as for Uber, it's really interesting how the most simplest things you could do to fix your relationship with us, you will not do, and I think everyone's just plain sick of it. I am giving you this advice because ultimately I don't want you to go under, but I lost my patience with you a long time ago. That's why you don't see too many nice videos about me anymore. And also, on a side note, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. Apparently, Lyft has a driver advisory board too. They weren't as public about it as Uber was, but they have one. So my suggestion to Lyft, you can take this advice too. You can take my advice, make your meetings public, and be more transparent with the drivers. That has always been your greatest strength, although even that is faltering with the upfront pricing scandal. But you could beat Uber at their own game in this, if you so choose. And Uber can beat Lyft by following their own principles that they claim they have. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. What do you folks think? Do you think the advisory board is a scam? Have you been invited? Would you like to talk to me via podcast style live stream so that your face and name is not known? Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for those $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. And I'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Rideshare.